Hey guys, so this will be my first type of video. This will be the first it'll be the first type of esports content on my channel. Um, I'm also gonna do something like this for the CS:GO major and for the LEC and various CS or league teams going further into 2022 in the future. But this will be the first video of its kind on my channel. Um, and aside from that, I guess we can just go on into what's going on right now. So before I go into my predictions at for the group stage, I just want to talk about C9 versus DFM. That was kind of it wasn't the best. I'll just say that it wasn't the best. For C9 of course. For DFM it was amazing. It's the they made history. They're the first LJL team. They're the first Japanese team to head to the group stage, and they obviously did it by taking down C9. Now for C9, obviously, while it was just a best of one, I mean it's kind of telling because C9 still has problems in their mid game. Like I know it's just best of ones, but C9 still has a lot of problems in their mid game, and they gotta fix that. Honestly, they really need to fix that because even if you watched some of their playing games, they did struggle to close out some games. Like it wasn't like so much of a struggle, but it wasn't that clean the way they ended their games. So for C9, just gotta fix your mid game. You do have a best of five to play, so maybe some of the issues can be sorted out in that best of five. But yeah, that's about it. So starting with the group stage, I'm using Microsoft Excel by the way. The reason for that is that while I do have Photoshop, I'm just too lazy to open Photoshop right now and do everything there. Because, I mean, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning right now and I want to put this video out fast because I haven't done I was supposed to do this including play-ins. It's just that I obviously didn't watch that much play-ins even though I did get all my predictions right for play-ins, which is sad because it could have been a good video, but yeah, there's that. So, concerning this is I'm just putting C9 HLE here because these are obviously for the expected results, and honestly, they probably will happen. I cannot see C9 and Hanwha Life losing in a best of five to one of the other teams. And for the Hanwha Life, I'll just predict right now for the team that will face C9 and Hanwha Life. I think Galatasaray will beat I believe it's Beyond Gaming to face Hanwha Life, and I believe that the other team was Red Canids and Peace. And I actually think Peace will beat Red Canids to face C9 in the qualification match. But I do expect C9 and HLE to finish off the job because obviously these teams are, I mean, it's best of five, you know, it's a best of five. I think it's unreasonable to not have them as the favorites in a best of five setting. It's way better than the best of one. But anyway, to get to the actual predictions. I do note, by the way, that these won't be my real prediction. I'm just putting them as a pool, you know, as a pool of teams. Maybe it would be more accurate if I put them to the side or something, like over here. I think that would be more. I think that would be more accurate actually. But anyway, starting with Group A, I actually think that Damwon will top the group because here's the thing about the FPX. I don't really know how they would fare in best of ones. And even Damwon, honestly, Damwon, especially if you watch MSI in best of ones, they obviously they dropped games like to C9. They nearly dropped the game to DFM. And I believe they was it just C9. But the point is, Damwon isn't the best of one team either. In fact, none of these teams on this group, maybe except Rogue, they're not best of one teams. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is actually pretty tricky to predict, even though I think the top two, I think it's probably set in stone that it will be FPX and Damwon making it out of this group. Like, I don't know how I don't know how C9 or Rogue can. It's just that, you know, when C9 has made those runs in the past, you know, like obviously in 2018 C9 got past the group of death. But like let's be real, that Gen G, like they were the defending world champions, but it wasn't the defending world champions you would expect, you know. They were pretty busted at that world championship aside from their bot lane. And then when you look at Rogue, this team has had problems ever since they lost in that spring final to Mad Lions. Now, thing is, it's best of one, so maybe they can take some games. But ultimately, I don't think Rogue, like not even factoring the problems. I'm just talking about the teams head to head. I don't think Rogue and C9 can realistically do anything. Well, I actually expect C9 will place over Rogue in this Group A. It's just that when it's Damwon and FPX, I don't really know what to predict against that. It will just sound delusional at this point. Like it's not even about like no copium. Like it would just sound delusional. It would just sound stupid if I predict against these two teams. Realistically, these two teams should be in the world finals matchup. Uh, in a perfect world, it would be the world finals matchup. And if these two make it out, which it looks like they will, as to my knowledge, they will be on opposite sides of the bracket. So there is a potential for the world's finals matchup if that happens. So moving on to Group B, obviously it's going to be EDG, 100 Thieves, T1, and MDFM. Um, I think it's pretty fair to put EDG first in this group. Like I don't know how I could place them anywhere else. To be honest with you, I don't know how I can place them anywhere else. Second is actually, I mean, here's the thing, okay? T1 is probably a better team than 100 Thieves, and obviously they did just literally make the LCK finals. And if that team wasn't Dom1, then Faker would probably have 10 LCK championships by now. The problem is obviously it was Damwon. So and let's just say and obviously Kana got gapped by Kan, but But the thing about the reason why I'm saying it's kind of tricky to match between 100 Thieves and T1 is because it is best of ones, and 100 Thieves and T1. The thing with T1 is that they just play like they play like the old Korean types of teams, They play the same old macro. They play really slow. They play to scale. They have Faker on a zero rise, um, and they just choke you out from points in the map, and they end the game at like 30 minutes or something. But that's where I have trouble predicting because in the best of one, the Western teams can really mess some things up for the Eastern teams, specifically the Korean teams. And 100 Thieves and T1, I think stylistically, I think this can actually be a pretty interesting matchup. Now, I'm still gonna predict T1 over 100 Thieves, but I won't be shocked if 100 Thieves somehow, if 100 Thieves can do something against T1. And for DFM, I mean like, I don't really know. I did predict DFM would get out of play-ins. I didn't predict that DFM would top their group. That was extremely surprising, by the way. I didn't expect DFM to top their group, and beat C9 in the way they did. Obviously, C9 had some problems, and it was a best of one, but still, it's still impressive. But I don't think, especially in this group B, 100 Thieves, in contrast to C9, is a totally different team, and well, while this is the first World Championships for a lot of these players from 100 Thieves, I don't think 100 Thieves will drop games like C9 does. The thing with C9 and 100 Thieves is that 100 Thieves has a way higher floor, but the thing with C9 is that they have a way higher ceiling. Like their ceiling is insanely high. It's the highest of any team, and it's probably the second highest of any Western team aside from Mad Lions. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I don't think I'm sorry. Like I'm just doubting them again, doubting the Western teams and DFM here, but I don't think it's plausible for me to put DFM, like to get DFM to predict DFM to get out of groups in this group, and even against Challenger teams, I don't think they will. Sadly, I don't think they will. So PSG, Fnatic, RNG, and Hanwha Life for Group C. I think RNG will top this group pretty easily. I don't think anyone will challenge that. I know some people have been saying Fnatic is better than RNG. All I'll say is that you're delusional and your opinion is wrong. Because you haven't been watching the LPL. RNG is still very good. Like, the reason why they didn't win the LPL is literally because it's the LPL. and obviously because they choked against LNG. But we don't talk about that, you know. But aside from that, Xiaohu, everyone still look really good. Xiaohu is probably the best top laner in the LPL. I don't know what the world. Actually, I think probably I'll probably say the world. Yeah, I think Xiaohu is probably the best top laner in the world still. Wei is obviously a top jungler, top 3 jungler in the world probably. Ryan, he is suspect, but when you have 4 stars around you, like you basically just have to facilitate your teammates. It's not really that hard, so I don't even know if I can put anything against him. And then you obviously have Gala Ming there. Ming is probably the best support in the world, and Gala is one of the best AD carries in the world, one of the best AD carries in the LPL. Um, so yeah, there's really nothing I can say against RNG here. I think they'll probably top the group. They might even just go 6-0 in this group. Who knows? Remember in MSI they did go 8-0 in the group, even though um, RNG obviously only had 3 teams in their group. I believe, was it just 3 teams in the group, or was it Mad Lions? I think it was RNG who had 3 teams in their group only, but still they might even just go undefeated in this group because my second team. This might surprise some people. I'm gonna put PSG over Fnatic. And by the way, I'm an EU fan. I have watched Fnatic all year long, and especially this Fnatic. I've watched this Fnatic all summer long. The thing I'm gonna say is that the clock must just strike midnight. It just struck midnight. Strike midnight. You know. I don't. I think you're probably gonna expect rookie. Sorry, you're probably gonna expect Adam to have some sort of struggle in his first World Championship. And honestly, I'm not even gonna flame him if he struggles in his first World Championship. I think that's something that you should expect anyway because he is a rookie and like he's a literal rookie. He hasn't played a full year in the LEC. You have to remember he went straight out of EU Masters. He played like one for this year. I mean, for this year he played Spring in K Corp. He won EU Masters and was picked up by Fnatic to replace Bippo. You have to remember he didn't play a full year for Fnatic, so he's a literal rookie coming to the World Championship. And I do expect him to I don't want to say choke, but like I do expect him to struggle a bit because remember, I don't think these teams at Worlds is gonna disrespect his champions, his champion pool, his play. Because I mean, honestly, if you watch the best of fives that Fnatic played, you're probably gonna agree that the teams disrespected Adam really much because I personally don't think Adam's that good as a top laner. Like his mentality is amazing, I agree, but as a top laner, I feel like he's just been disrespected a lot by these other teams in the LEC. Like when you saw the against G2, I think Wonder really disrespected him in the match in that matchup. And teams like all throughout the split as well, they were disrespecting his Olaf. They were disrespecting his other weird picks like the Mordekaiser. He obviously pulled out the Darius against Wonder. I think Wonder just straight out disrespected that Darius. And he's also his Renekton as well. They really disrespected that Renekton. All of his other champions as well. These teams at Worlds, they're gonna let you pick those champions by the way. They're gonna let you pick those champions. I don't think they have a problem with that. It's just that these teams will not disrespect your champions, Adam's champions. This team will not disrespect Adam's champions. Adam's champions in the way that the LEC teams disrespected Adam's champions. And I do think, who the hell is this? I do think that Adam will struggle a lot in Worlds. The French fans will probably go after me, but all I'll say is Adam isn't even the best French top laner in League of Legends. That's still Cabochard. So for Bippo as well, you have to remember Bippo's also a rookie jungler. He's not a rookie as a player, but he's rookie to the jungle role. And you're going up against like, I mean, I'm not really that much of a fan of River, but you're going up against Wei as well. Now the thing what's funny is that Bippo can probably do fine alongside his jungle peers in Group C. Remember, his jungle peers is River and Willer. Willer is okay. Willer's good actually. I would say Willer's good. It's just he's too green, and I don't think Willer is gonna do that good as well in Group C. He might though. You know, he might prove me wrong. Like I think the players like Owner and Willer, I don't think they'll do that good at Worlds this year. But you know, they'll prove me wrong maybe. And Willer looked kind of good in its games in the play-ins for Hanwha Life as well. So who knows. The point is though, I think that even Hanwha Life will place higher than actually subs. Hmm. Yeah, actually, Squirt, I'll just say it. I think Hanwha Life will actually place higher than Fnatic. I think Fnatic will place last in this group. Uh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say that I just really think that's gonna be the case. I think Hanwha Life will actually place higher than Fnatic. I think Fnatic will finish last in this group. Just because of all I said earlier. And for the final group, that would be Mad, Genji, TL, and RNG, Group D. I think Mad will probably top this group. Now here's the thing. Earlier on in 2000, like when the groups started, not in 2000, what am I saying? When the groups were announced, I actually thought TL had a good chance to get out of this group. But I rewatched a lot of VODs from past worlds. And I also rewatched a lot of VODs from Genji and LNG. And I just know that TL is gonna drop a game. Or they might even drop two LNG. It's just TL. That's just how TL is. Like I think TL as a team is obviously probably better than LNG as a team. Probably being like I don't even know. Like they are probably a better team than LNG on paper. Take that with a grain of salt. But I do think that TL will just drop games to LNG just because of their style of play, and that's why I probably have TL finishing like. It's hard for me to predict. I might even just put TL last, honestly. I I don't really know. How am I gonna? This is so hard to predict because I think Gen G, even though they've looked really flawed in the LCK playoffs, you have to remember if you watched the LCK at all, they were the best team in the LCK until like the last 3 weeks of the LCK basically, or the last 2 weeks of the LCK basically. And obviously in the playoffs they didn't really look that good. But this team on paper is still pretty good. You have Rascal Clid. Sure, Rascal and Clid, they haven't been, that hot lately. But like, you still have BDD Ruler and Life as your uh, the supporting cast. You still have Ruler, you still have BDD, and even though memes on BDD have been thrown all over the place, I think BDD is probably still one of the best mids in the world. Like I don't know why people are ragging him that much. So I think Genji will actually probably just play second in this group. And then sadly, I don't think that yeah, actually I'll just say it. I don't think that I think TL will actually place last. I think LNG will finish third in the group. Now this might actually be really stupid, and I expect this video to get a lot of dislikes from Western fans. But that that's really how I see it. I don't really know how to judge TL after. I mean, they're probably going to drop games to LNG, and they are probably going to drop games to Genji too. Um, so yeah, that's really just how I see it, honestly. Uh, I don't know. I don't really know anymore at this point. So anyway, moving on. I am probably gonna do a sim, like just a mini sim of, the world's bracket stage. So these teams will obviously be the ones advancing. So let's make it red. So these teams will be the ones advancing. I believe that it's obviously. So this will just be like a simulation of like, you know, making my own bracket for worlds. But I think because DK and FPX are on the same team, are on the same group. DK, Damonkey, and Fun Plus Phoenix will probably be in the opposite sides of the bracket because they're in the same group. And then because EDG have to be on the opposite side of the bracket as well, I think EDG probably just like plays here or here. For the sake of the competition, for the sake of the bracket, I'll just put EDG here. Um, and then what else? Uh, there's PSG and RNG. I'll probably put RNG. I think RNG goes here and PSG probably goes against T1. Probably, who knows? That would be cool actually if PSG goes against T1. That would be a really fun matchup to watch. And then I think Genji has to go. Where would Genji have to go in this scenario? Actually, hmm. Genji's in Group D, right? So, actually, wait. I think Mad would have to I think Mad Lions would have to go here. And then I think that Genji will probably be on this side of the bracket. Yeah, I think that's fair. Would this be a fair? I think this is pretty realistic, right? What can happen at least. I would pretty like this bracket to happen. But anyway, if this does happen, then I'm gonna predict this. So I'll start with FPX and Genji. I'll probably predict like maybe even 3-0 actually. I don't even know. I think hmm, it's interesting. I think it's probably just 3-0, 3-1. Probably 3-0 even, who knows. I'll probably just predict 3-0 FPX in this scenario. And then for PSG and T1 this is hard. This is really hard to rate. Hmm. PSG and T1. How would they match up against each other? No, I mean obviously that also depend who will be playing, Teddy or Gumayushi. I also forgot to put it about in group my group B thoughts. I almost forgot to talk about that. Who would be playing? Yeah, who would be playing? Would it be Teddy or would it be Gumayushi? Because Teddy, in my opinion, is the better player. Gumayushi is obviously the more explosive player. But who would be playing? I actually think it would be Teddy. I mean, no, I think it would actually be Gumayushi who will be playing a lot more games, but I would rather play Teddy. I think for a best of 5 though, I think they'll if T1 does make it out of groups, I think for the best of 5, I think they will play Teddy. So against PSG Talon, Unified and Kaiwing. I mean Faker and Maple. These two are still really good, even though they have been a bit washed. But these two are still really good. They're obviously not near the best, but they're still pretty good. They're still pretty good. You have to look at the top side. It's Kana and Owner, and then there's Hanabi and River. This is pretty hard to rate. Um, I'm just gonna say 3-2. I don't know why. Like I'm not gonna explain why, but I just feel like PSG matched really well against T1. I just really do. I'm not gonna say why though, because you guys probably won't understand it. Mad Lions against EDG. Wow, that's hard. That's very hard. I think I'll rate the. I think I'm gonna do Damwon versus RNG first, and I do think this time I think Damwon is gonna beat RNG. So yeah, I predict that there will be 2 game 5s that will happen first. I predict that Damwon will beat RNG, and like it may sound stupid, but I'm just I've been drinking. Not been drinking. I've been breathing that. I mean I've been on the Canon Showmaker hype train ever since like 2019, basically. I've been a huge fan of Showmaker as well. It's probably one of my favorite players right now at the moment. Um, yeah, I think it's just biased, honestly. This prediction for Damwon to beat RNG. I would just predict Damwon honestly in this scenario. Like MSI, look at MSI. I think Damwon could have also clearly won that series against RNG if they didn't make those key mistakes in Game 5. Remember, Damwon's draft in Game 5 was way better than RNG's draft in Game 5. I think Damwon's execution was just absolute shit in Game 5. But yeah, let's just by the by. EDG vs Mad Lions. Oh, this is so hard to rate. This is so hard to rate. This is really hard to rate because like EDG's bottom is probably better. Actually, yeah, EDG's bottom is way better actually. And I don't think Mad can really sustain that much of their. Because if you remember, Mad Lions came back down a lot of gold leads in the LEC playoffs. They obviously were able to weather their storm in a poetic way, and their macro as whole actually is pretty good. Not gonna lie, Mad macro is actually pretty good, and Mad as a team, I think their mental is actually probably. I don't think you can probably break it. I don't think they get tilted. I feel like their mentality is like when they're down that deep in a hole, their mentality is basically just go scale. The thing with that though is that I don't think it's sustainable at all in a world championship, and especially in this scenario, it would be against EDG in the best of 5. I don't think you can ever. I don't think you can sustain that. You know, I think. Oh, this is so hard to rate. You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say Mad wins at 3-2. You know, like I don't care. It's copium. I'm breathing that much copium. I don't know. Maybe just me biased as an EU fan. I'll say it. Screw it. I'll say it. Mad will beat EDG. Screw it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. 3-2. 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. Damon Mad Lions. I think Damon probably still wins this, honestly. Like, I honestly, would this go 5 games again, though? Would this go 5? I think it probably still would go 5 games, actually. Yeah. I think it would probably still go 5 games. Yeah, this will probably be the most 5 game series ever in Worlds. I believe it's like so much game fives already here, but like to be fair, the teams at Worlds this year is so fucking stacked. Like you look at the 16, like top 16 teams potentially, these teams are so stacked with talent. Like it's so talented. Which is why I really hate the group stage system. I just wish it was like something like CS:GO, where it's like something like CS:GO, like a format in a CS:GO tournament where it's like 16 team double elimination, one bracket for it. You know, something like that would be perfect for this type of tournament, in my opinion. Because you would just get all the matches, you know. But for T1 and FPX, though, T1 and FPX, I think T1, I think FPX will probably just win this 3-1. Like, I don't think that T1, like T1 has had their struggles as well. T1 has definitely had their struggles in the playoffs, and even in the split, they look really shaky. Um, Especially in the finals. Like people say the finals against Damwon was close. I don't think it was ever close at all. I think Damwon in game 3 and 4 was just toying with T1 really, in my opinion. I don't think it was close at all. But T1, like, what's I still have to give them their props. They still did their job. They still made it to Worlds. They still look really good. But you have to remember they also look really suspect in the final 3 games against Hanwha Life as well. So yeah, there's that basically. So I think FPX will probably head down to the finals. Um, for this, I'm not gonna predict this yet. You're gonna have to wait for my official playoffs predictions for who I think would be the world champion. But this is basically how I think. I believe that Damwon and FPX will probably be the finalists. I know I'm probably ragging on EDG a bit, but the thing with that is that I don't think EDG can. I don't know if. Now obviously, this is just a hypothetical bracket, but just with how Riot does their system, I think this bracket is probably really realistic. If I'll be honest with you, this is probably a really realistic bracket. I don't think EDG and FPX will probably be on the same side. Even though last year at Worlds, all the LPL teams were on one side of the bracket and all the LCK teams were on the other. I think this is actually pretty realistic. Riot's pretty random, and I think they might do this as well. So that would be the end of the video. I hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe and share it with everyone else. And I'll see you after groups. Sayonara.